I'd like to greet all human beings all around the world with a universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor religious beliefs may be. It doesn't matter if you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter if you the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter if you my family, friend, or my declared enemy. It doesn't matter whether or not you light-skinned or dark-skinned. It doesn't matter whether you like me, like my YouTube videos, like what I say. It doesn't matter. I still greet all of you all with a universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. That's one of the city councilmen with the truck there. A couple of times today, a couple of people from the city came, and I'm gonna tell you a story about this here. Today is November the 8th, 2019. It's about, let me see, today is Friday. It's about 12:35 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm making this video today is because of the fact that I called the city earlier today and just asked a simple question that I have a right to ask, because with the question I asked, it's their job to do. And all I ask them is, you see the leaves? Me and some of my neighbors, we get our leaves together, and I had them all down here, but after the response from the city manager, which was I'll tell you about it in a minute, I went on and got my own leaves up and put them in the backyard. You notice this little water here, and I'm just telling you this because I'm gonna tell you what he said. The little water there is not frozen. You see that is not frozen. It is a little chilly out here. But this is something me and my neighbors do all the time. We call after we rake the leaves up here on the 600 block of Vine, and some other people do it the same way. We ask them, can they send the guy over to get the leaves? So I called about nine something this morning, and the lady said that she'll let them know. I waited maybe about an hour so, and but before that, I seen 2 city trucks. People work for the city, 2 different city trucks ride down Vine Street, and went past. So I called and asked another lady again. I said, had you heard anything? What do you think that they're going to be getting the leaves? I mean, it's not a major problem, but you know, when you got citizens want to try to keep their area clean, and the city have the equipment to do it, and they get paid to do it, all you're doing is just asking, you know. And so the lady said that, well, they got to 4 o'clock, and she said, well, wait a minute, let me let you talk to somebody else. Let me talk to another lady. And the lady won't know my name. What do you want to know my name for? I didn't even ask her that. I just gave her my name. You see what I'm saying? And I know my name in City Hall by some people is not liked, because I just speak my mind. I ask them to do things that they get paid for, just like this street here. I complained about it until they paved it. You got every street on the white side of town paved, and this is no disrespect to no white people, but I live in a black neighborhood on the west side of Charleston, and I got a right to ask. Just because other people ain't complaining about their streets, I can complain about it when you have money to do it. If you didn't have money to do it, it wouldn't be done. But let's get back to the message at hand. This lady, after asking my name, she put me on hold and put the city manager on there. City manager I done talked to before about complaining about the police chief and some of the officers. And this was the beginning of the year. Hey now. And he told me my complaint can hold off until the Dogwood Festival. The Dogwood Festival, no disrespect, has nothing to do with what I was complaining about, what the police and the police chief allowed two of his police officers to do. And I have it on video. But he did nothing about it. Talk to me, Eric, and I was sitting in his office. But then when he got on the phone, he said, "How can I help you, Mr. Alvin?" I said, all I did, I said, you about the third person I talked to. I said, all I was doing is asking them, when do they think that they going to come get the leaves? And this was his response. This showed me he know who I am. You see what I'm saying? Even if he didn't know who I am, to be the city manager, this was his response. And I talked to him respectful. He said, we'll get them when we get them. And I asked him, I said, do you talk to everybody like you just talked to me? Well, I said, we'll get them when we get them. We ain't been able to get them nowhere. The leaves is frozen and stuck to the ground. You see, that's a lie. Not on the black side of town, it ain't. Do you see these leaves being frozen and stuck to the ground? If they was frozen and stuck to the ground, after he told me what he said, I wouldn't have been able to get these up off the ground. Do it look like these stuck? You see how neat we put them? You see what I'm saying? But he complained. That's why the lady asked me, what's your name? What difference do it make, man? You got 5,947 people, or if we go with the new census of 2017, you got 5,535 people living in Charleston, Missouri. What difference do it make which one of them 5,334 people is calling to ask you, is you going to do your job today? Merely just come and get some leaves. Don't take no time. You see what I'm saying? Is there anything else you want? Anything else you need to ask Mr. Ivy? That goes to show you, man. When I tell you Ku Klux Klans, racist white supremacists is running Charleston, Missouri, that's no question or doubt about it. The chief of police, some of these other law enforcement, most of them go to the same churches. I know they pastors know. But you know, my dad is a World War II veteran, fought against people like this city manager and some of these racist chief of police and some of their racist officers. My dad told me how it was when he was in there, when he was drafted to fight against Hitler, who was trying to take over the world with white supremacists. But at the same time, when he's in the war with the United States, they put the blacks in separate barracks from the whites. But yet we fighting against a white supremacist. You see what I'm saying? But just because you put a black mayor in, they have a black mayor here in Charleston, Missouri. You see what I'm saying? They got these black preachers and black organizations, NAACP, present and past presidents and members. They fear these people. That's why these people do what they doing now. Do it look like that water is frozen? Do it look like these leaves is frozen? You see, he didn't hurt me. He just confirming to me, just like yesterday. I tell him about the dog, and it was on video. I didn't even call the dog catcher. God had the dog catcher come at the right time in the right place. Right here, where you see that blue panel in that side in that. You see in my YouTube video from yesterday, a dog sitting up in there. The same dog earlier that day was chasing after our little children that was waiting at the bus stop, and I came out and ran them away. You see what I'm saying? The dog catcher told me, you see how when he was trying to get the dog, it appeared, I don't know if he's inexperienced, or by him didn't have a cage, he didn't really want to get the dog. I don't know which one it is. You know, it's one of the two. But he told me, and you heard it for yourself, or you didn't hear it, you can listen to my video. He told me, he said, well, I got a cage on. I said, you can put a cage down here now. And I said, I guarantee you before you get off of work, I said, it'll be a dog in that cage. He said, well, I got a cage over there on Cleveland, and on Cleveland Street on the other side of town. And he said, can I bring one over tomorrow, which is today? That was November the 7th, 2019, which was Thursday. Now, this is today, Friday, the 8th of 2019, November the 8th, 2019, Friday. He said, can I bring it back tomorrow morning? If you see, it's after tomorrow morning, but ain't no cage over here. And they probably told him, don't bring no cage over here. You see what I'm saying? Because Raymond Ivy was complaining about it. But if it was in front of that city manager's house, or over there somewhere, some of them white children's at the bus stop, I bet you they would have had a cage, or he would have got that dog. You see what I'm saying? If you look at some of my other YouTube videos, it took me 8 days with 8 YouTube videos until they got a massive of dogs from off of this street, right in this same area. But just because these blacks, they call themselves leaders in the black community here in Charleston, Missouri, they don't lead me. God leads me. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to speak up and continue to speak up against you racist white supremacists. I'm not none of enmity. When you come in my house, it's going to be a good fight. You see what I'm saying? It's going to be a good fight. You know, y'all think it's still back in them days where y'all can just come and just kill everybody. Everybody ain't going to take it. Harriet Tubman didn't take it. You see what I'm saying? A lot of other blacks ain't going to take it. And y'all wondering why militants and ISIS form in these countries, man. They sick of y'all. Peace be still.